2005, as part of the Harper government, he's the head of the Sustainable Development Committee. That's Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. That's everything that's happening right now. That's Globalism 101. And even after the program was defunded, in 2006, he took it upon himself to meet and work with George Soros and the Tides Foundation to try to find ways to implement Agenda 21 policies through the government against the best interests and the will of the people. Does that sound like a freedom fighter to you? In 2008, he was our foreign minister. He gave $550 million of our tax dollars to Haiti, where his daddy just happened to be the ambassador up until 2001. That's not crony politics and globalism. And if you ask Maxime where that $550 million get, he'll block you just as fast as he blocked me when I asked him for a debate after they lied about me being invited. In 2010, this non-globalist tried to get us a seat on the UN Security Council, saying that we needed more integration with the UN as it was integral to Canada's future. But he's a non-globalist. And then how did he lose that position? This is a man that wants to run the country, and he's so inept that he left classified documents at his girlfriend's apartment. And then rather than be honest and forthcoming, he tried to call her and go pick up the documents, which would have been a felony. But she didn't want to get involved, so she just returned the documents to his boss. And to avoid criminal charges, he was forced to resign. So we have a man with 15 years of globalist history, ties directly to George Soros. He gets fired from his job for completely inept behavior. That's something a teenage boy would do. Then he loses the bid to become the party leader, and then all of a sudden uses that popularity that he got from the party run to become the leader of the PPC and somehow rebrand himself as this wonderful freedom fighter, pretending that the last 20 years of his career as a crony globalist politician have no effect on his actual interests or policies. Does this sound like someone who's going to save the country? Or does this sound like the latest snake oil salesman who's planning on derailing the movement? It's not a coincidence that the PPC is the only party that's on these freedom tours. It's not a coincidence that they're getting corporate funding and going to all the same locations as us. It's not a coincidence that their main job is to attack me and attack my message while telling you guys, don't listen to me at all costs and just vote for them. This is all designed to derail the freedom movement. They need to get you back under their control. They don't like that Canadians are awake. They don't like Canadians being aware. They don't like Canadians angry. They don't like Canadians knowing what's going on. And they know Canadians are ready to just say no. And that's what fear is about. When they're doing all of this, it's because they're scared. When they're doing all of this because they see that we are making a difference. And ladies and gentlemen, we got to keep it going. You got to push the message that I've been telling you. Everybody you know, let them know lockdown is coming. They're going to call you crazy. They're going to call you names. Let them call you whatever they want. It has already been decided. I've gotten contacts from law enforcement in multiple provinces. They're already making arrangements. They're already hiring new officers for enforcement teams. They're making preparations. And why would they make preparations months in advance? Do they have a crystal ball and they know exactly what's going to happen? Or are they making it happen? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to make it happen in our favor. When you know what the enemy's plan is, and make no mistake, we are at war with an enemy. Let that sink in. That is the Canadians' biggest problem right now. They're at war. Not only do they not realize they're at war, but they're waiting for their opponent to give them their next instructions. Imagine I'm in a fist fight with you and you wait for me to tell you what to do before I throw my next punch. That is the equivalent of how Canadians are approaching this fight. And that's how the government is staying 5 steps ahead, not even 2 steps ahead. And the only way to nullify this is what I've been telling you all along. They cannot get you from step 1 to step 10 without going through all the other steps. And the only way to prevent that, because the vaccine passport is right around the corner, is united non-compliance. You have to stop their agenda in its tracks by not complying with their agenda. It's very simple. Act like me. Take off your mask. Open your business. Tell everybody else to do the same and reject the vaccine. Is it really that hard? Is it that hard? Does it cost any money? Is it putting you at risk? Or is it a simple thing that every man, woman, and child can do that if you all did right now and none of you put a mask back on after leaving here, imagine that. Imagine everybody that's here didn't go out tomorrow and put their mask back on, even though I know 95% of you will. This would be over tomorrow. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Look, everyone's like, no, I'm not going to be the one wearing a mask. All right, let's see. I'm going to be in Victoria tomorrow. Let's choose a store, and let's see how many of you show up mask-free, ready to shop. Because that's one of our groups. Everybody saw what happened to me at Longo's. This is to show you guys that what we do makes a difference. I went to Longo's. I bought the maple syrup mask-free. They sent like 40 cops to my house. What happened? A friend of mine named Julio, at mask_exemption, he used my Taking Action group to put 65 people together, and they went to Longo's, and they did the exact same thing as me. But guess what? They called the cops on 65 people this time instead of one. And because of united non-compliance, a perfect example of it, guess what? Longo's was forced to change their policy, acknowledge the law, and follow the law. Why? Not because one person stood up to them, because we all stood up to them. That's a perfect example that I can do so much by myself, but I can't do everything, not even close. But as soon as you guys back me up, as soon as you guys do what I do for yourselves, it's over. We win. Did you not see 300,000 people in the streets of Montreal on May 1st? Do you understand that that's bigger, that's one of the biggest standing armies in the world, and we had that in one small Canadian city? And those were people marching in solidarity, in unity, and in positive energy? They cannot replicate that. Politicians cannot create that positive energy and that genuine concern because they don't have genuine concern. They just play off of your genuine concern. And that's why they hate me, because I create genuine concern by talking about what's real. And what's real is we are under attack. We have restrictions coming. It's going to be a bad winter. And we have two choices. Stand up and fight, or sit down and die. And I, for one, I'm not going to sit down and die. I'm going to fight. I'll fight for my country. I'll fight for my people. I'll fight for my freedom to my last breath. And if everybody adopts that lifestyle, if everybody just says no, then we can't lose. We can't lose. So ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, spread the message. Let everybody know what's coming. Stay positive. Stay happy. And remember, the only way through this is united non-compliance. I love you guys very much. Give it up for Chris, everybody! Come on!